Now, let's, of course, start off by telling you that Nigerians woke up to the grim reality in which the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has raised its pump price of petrol in Abuja by 14.8%. That's about 1,030 naira per litre from 897 naira. Now, this latest increase in pump price makes it the second time the petrol price has been hiked in the past month. Now, the company had in September increased the pump price from 650 naira per litre to 897 naira. All NNPC filling stations have adjusted their meter to reflect the development. Now, this is coming days after the recently privatized state oil company dumped the middleman role between Dangote Refinery and the market. In an official statement, NNPCL decided to terminate its exclusive purchase agreement with Dangote Refinery amidst unsettling pricing issues. The move effectively stopped NNPCL to be the off-taker, and marketers can now negotiate prices directly with the Dangote Refinery. Well, joining me on the program this evening to discuss this is Chinedu Ukadike, is the National Publicity or Public Relations Officer for IPMAN. IPMAN being, of course, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. He joins virtually. Thank you for your time. We also have Oluwaseun Dania, is an energy consultant. He joins virtually from the United Kingdom. Gentlemen, thank you for your time on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, let me start off with you, Mr. Ukadike. Another, increase this time around. Even though we know that it's by the NNPCL, but we Nigerians, are abreast of the trend. Once NNPC, adjust the pump price, it sort of has a ripple effect across board, including, to a large extent, the pricing index of independent marketers like yourself. What is going on? Nigerians, this is just one too many in the shortest possible time. What exactly is going on?
Well, this is the beauty of the deregulation system and full-scale implementation of the PIA bill that have liberalized the oil and gas industry. And because it is what Nigeria has been enjoying for a wide period of time, it's becoming very, very turbulent, for Nigerians to understand the full scale of this implementation of the PIA bill that have just liberalized the market. And the adjustments in price regime did not only start during this period. It has been a very long thing that has been happening. But in the other cases, the adjustment of prices were being discussed within marketers and other stakeholders in the industry with NNPC, who was cutting the short then, and marketers who will be, given the ample opportunity to understand the necessity of increasing the price, and also the NNPC at that time with Petroleum Equalization Fund, PEF, we'll look at the price of petroleum products across the board and enabling the environment of haulaging and logistics and handling charges and be able to fix price. I'm also aware that IPMAN is also a member of the Petroleum Equalization Fund as in the board member, whereby strategic decisions are being taken. But the introduction of the PIA bill have drastically changed the business. It is no longer the way it used to be before. Now, the bill stipulates that there is liberalization of the market. Everybody can go into the market, you can import, you can sell. And that is the true position we are seeing ourselves now. We have not seen this kind of positions before. And Nigeria has been leveraging on subsidy implementation and all the rest of them. But once Mr. President, arrived and now decided to remove subsidy, so that Nigeria can be able to realize the true tenets of the deregulation policy. That is why we are seeing this price adjustment. Once the oil industry prices in terms of the crude oil goes up or goes down, it definitely will affect our domestic product here because it is also measured in the international market rate. So that is what is happening. Now, on the issue of Dangote and the federal government and independent marketers, actually, I was in this show to be able to canvass that independent marketers should be given a first shot at the source of production in Dangote because we are strategic stakeholders as far as this industry is concerned. And for an association with numerous strengths and the capacity, to be sidelined in terms of discussing, source of petroleum products, it will be very, very demeaning, and also it will introduce red tapism and unnecessary price tripping. You understand me? In terms of ensuring that the price of petroleum products will get to the consumers, originally.
All right. I'm still going to come back to you, but let me bring in Oluwaseun Dania into the conversation and get his reaction on the current reality, with Nigerians right now when it comes to the pump price. Seun, even though I know that currently you're in the UK, I would appreciate it if, to a large extent, you can make this some sort of comparative analysis with what is obtainable where you are and what we are experiencing at the moment.
The United Kingdom does not have as much crude reserves or even any oil as Nigeria compared to Nigeria. So it's okay for them to be paying international prices for whatever products they are getting, So it's significantly more expensive, but of course that's because of all the logistics that needs to go around it. Also, we also need to remember that in several other countries, advanced countries, their cost of living is very different. If you look at Nigeria, minimum wage is maybe less than £20. Yeah. Okay. Well, the new minimum wage that has been approved is a little over, but £20 probably that is what somebody else earns in a low earner here probably earns that in an hour or 2 hours. So the purchasing power is completely different. So essentially, I believe that the government is responsible for the resources that we all have collectively as Nigerians and to be able to manage it for us. And the things that actually are very, very essential to Nigerians, coupled with the fact that we do not have power, and a lot of Nigerians, apart from motor vehicles and moving around, movement, logistics and whatnot. Remember that a lot of Nigerians still depend on themselves and using these little petrol generators to generate power for their homes, keep their food fresh, entertain themselves and quite a lot of stuff. So it's too hard on Nigerians, even though yes, we want the market to be fully deregulated and that will definitely bring in competition. But how far are we seen even with the diesel market that's been fully deregulated? The Nigerians are not getting any benefits from it.
But you said your last statement, you said Nigerians are not getting any benefit because, we've seen scenarios like this happen where it has ripple effect across board. Now, with the way it's been gone about in terms of the removal of the subsidy regime, the full deregulation of the sector, is this the right way to go about it, given the antecedent or the ripple effect, cascading effect of policies and, initiatives like this by the government, particularly when it comes to the cost of living? You did a comparative analysis that this amount, minimum wage here, where someone will work for an entire 30-day stretch, is what somebody probably in the UK would just work for almost maybe 2 hours, a little above an hour, and earn. So I would like you to speak on that. Is the government of Nigeria going about all of this the right way? Is it sensitive to the plight of the people?
It definitely isn't. So, with these kind of things, like what it is that we all elect officials into position because we all cannot be there. So the role of the government is to manage our resources for us. And when we have people who do not really care about how those policies affect us, then it becomes very, very concerning. I believe that the things that could have been done would have been to actually fix a lot of things that we know that Nigerians depend on. Nigerians depend. So most times we hear people talking about, driving numerous cars and whatnot. Even though that would definitely, people need to move around. I hear about CNG buses, but there's still those pain points whereby people need to buy food and keep in their homes. So it's not even just having power for entertainment or charging phones, which is kind of like a necessity these days, having internet and whatnot. But people need to preserve the food in their homes. So a lot of people, the money that they are supposed to even spend on doing other things, they end up spending it on buying petrol for their little generators. And it's very, 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 very difficult for Nigerians to deal with stuff. So I believe that what the government is supposed to do is fix some of these things. If we fix power, definitely we know that. I'm sure in your studio, if you ask your administrative office how much they spend on, generating power every month, whether it's through diesel, maintaining generators, it's killing. And the same thing, every business is suffering. So what the government is supposed to focus on is fix some things that will then make sure. So it's not about giving out palliatives and, even you fix some things. If you fix power, a lot of the businesses will reduce their costs by almost 50% because a lot of money goes hotels, restaurants, bars, offices. Everybody's spending so much on generating on diesel. That's why there's so much demand on it. That's why most of the importers, like our chairman or the other side, they know everybody is always looking for FX to import products because there's too much demand for those products. If the government fixes those things, fixes the insecurity challenges that we have in the oil sector, whereby most of the oil producers are able to produce and export their crude oil, there'll be enough oil. Basically, there'll be enough to give our local refinery, and generally it will also turn around and ensure that we have refined products available.
All right. Let me leave you, Oluwaseun. Let me come back to Mr. Ukadike. Now, before now, the conversation, particularly when it comes to the scarcity of the product and even the pricing, had been around, if our crude was refined locally, the price, and even in terms of availability, the price should drop and it should be readily available. I remember very well, that was the narrative. And then at some point, issues as regards the strength of the Naira. We know that recently also, the president did have some sort of arrangement with the Dangote Refinery that crude, should be sold in Naira. Now, one would expect that at least right now, Nigeria has, even though it's a private entity, a local refinery, at least one that we know of, that is functional. One would expect that, it provides some sort of rebate to Nigerians in terms of the price, the pump price. But alas, that's not the case. The refinery started operation and the price jumped from 600, a little above 600 Naira. And right now we are looking at over 1,000 Naira. So the big question is, who is deceiving who?
Well, I'm an independent marketer and the spokesperson of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. The aim of our objective for IPMAN is to protect its members and also enable very good environments for its members to do business here in Nigeria. And because of the digitalization policy, IPMAN was curated, and the proponents of IPMAN decided to kind of indigenize the oil and gas distribution sector in the hands of the local. And that is why independent marketers. What the question you just asked me is a very, very simple question. It's just saying something that everybody that's wearing a wristwatch can be able to look at his time and be able to tell the time. The issue of whether the product PMS in particularly is being subsidized, that question has been answered. It is clearly clear that PMS has been subsidized because The federal government does not want this direct hit or impact or what will cause developing inflection on the people.
But I believe the subsidy came in the area back then when it was imported. We are talking of landing costs and those other, logistical costs that were involved there. Now with the Dangote Refinery, you should expect that all those costs, to a large extent should be eliminated. But right now, the price is even higher. So Nigerians are confused. So what's going on? Who's deceiving you?
In terms of automotive gasoline oil, that is HU. HU was around 1,800, even running to 2,000 before Dangote came in. And immediately Dangote came in, HU became 1,200. And within 1,200, those who were importing HU in Nigeria then started coming down to 1,400, 1,300. Dangote went down to 1,000. You can see that there was a complaint to Mr. President that the business of HU has been crushed by Dangote. We should be able to give this kind of opportunities to business practice to take its tone before we can be able to now start, criticizing whether it has jumped up or it has jumped down. HU was at 1,800. And Nigerians were buying HU. DPK is nowhere to be found. That's dual purpose kerosene. It's nowhere to be found. Nigerians are buying it. You understand me? There was no complaint because PMS, which is Petroleum Motor Spirit, drives the economy more than this other product. But this other product has been deregulated for a very long period of time. So when Dangote came in, Dangote was able to crash the price of HU to even to 980 naira. People came and was shouting that Dangote has messed up the business. Before now, HO is around 1,100. But the most important is there is availability.
So from your analysis, I'm sorry, Mr. Ukadike. From your analysis, what we are seeing here is human factor at play, and it has nothing to do with international price.
No, listen now. Listen. You see, it is very, very important that we become contemporary and practical in whatever we are doing.
And that is why I want you to be very practical with your response to me, sir. What exactly is the root cause? Why does the price keep going up, even though we have the crude here and at least we have the refining capacity here at the moment?
Yes, we have. But it is not a Nigerian refinery that is refining this product. It is a businessman. Dangote is a businessman. Somebody who has invested $20 billion in Nigeria. And he's also trying to make ends meet and pay up the debts of those he has borrowed this one and all the rest of them. So he must try to maximize profits. You can also read in the newspaper that federal government was begging Dangote for a rebate so that it will cushion the effect of this galloping inflation that this 1,000 naira is going to cost. The federal government want to be realistic. They want to open up the market. Let us look at what the market will look like. And that is why we, the independent marketers, we are appealing to the federal government to ensure that Port Harcourt Refinery, our own refinery, and Warri Refinery, our own refinery, Kaduna Refinery, is working. Then let them be in the competition. That is the essence of deregulation. That is the essence of the liberalization of the market. There is no way you liberalize market and the market become monopolistic. One person determines price, one person supply, one person distributes, one person retail. It is not easy for us, the independent marketers. Now, independent marketers, since the inception of Dangote, we have been gunning to be part of distribution. And they said no. They shut their doors at us. It was just recently that our national president went and had a discussion with them, and they have also agreed to say to us, maybe by next week, the decision of selling to us will be given to us, will be concluded, and the price to independent markets will be given to us. Then we can now be able to fix our own price. This is deregulation for crisis. This is liberalization of the market. Every stakeholder must be given equal opportunity. And I enjoy what NNPC have done by withdrawing being a total obstacle of this petroleum product, so that we can face the deregulation hit. We were in Petrol Refinery. The refinery, according to them, is almost ready. So with the refinery, the challenges of deregulation will take place. And with the independent marketers, we can have the choice of buying.
All right.
We can become a willing buyer.
Mr. Ukadike, we'll come back to your line of thoughts, particularly on the aspect right now that we know that NNPC has withdrawn, from being the off-taker. Right now, it's an open will I call it negotiation between independent marketers like yourself and maybe the Dangote Refinery and hopefully other refineries too. But we need to go on a quick commercial break. When we return, we will definitely pick up. Do stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television. At this point, we are looking at what Nigerians woke up to be a grim reality. Another increase in the pump price by the NNPCL of petrol. A key or pivotal ingredient when it comes to the daily lives of Nigerians. I still have my guest with me. Chinedu Ukadike is the National Public Relations Officer of IPMAN. He joins virtually from Abuja, and also Oluwaseun Dania is an energy expert who is joining virtually from the United Kingdom. Let me go to Seun on this one. I want to believe that you had in the first half some of the things Mr. Ukadike did say. I would like your reaction, particularly on, if at all, local refineries, if we had maybe quite a number of them operating, probably state-owned, this would, in your own opinion, impact in any way on the pump price of petrol?
Yes, definitely. If we had our state-owned refineries working, it's the government. The government is not supposed to be in it for profit. They should be providing. They should be providing instead of paying subsidies. They'll subsidize all of that during the cost of production in order to provide energy efficiency and energy security for the country. However, if in the event that we found ourselves in this position whereby the government, the state-owned refineries are not working, we have some local companies that have actually built modular refineries, even though they are small capacities, before the Dangote, the likes of Aradel, Watersmith, and a couple of other small refineries that are meeting up, local demand for AGO and other products within their, host communities. What the government can do, since we have this insecurity challenge, what the government can do is actually provide incentives for people to build such refineries in and around the oil producers, and they can offtake the crude oil directly there, refine and sell to the local communities. That will actually ease the pressure on Dangote. The government would also give things like pioneer status or tax waivers. So those are the kind of subsidies, so that the government is not taking money out of their pockets to pay subsidies. They'll give all these things in form of tax incentives. That way, the Nigerian people will be able to benefit from the products that we have. And another thing that the government ought to do, the reason why we're having this increase in fuel prices, because even though they are selling the crude oil to the Dangote Refinery in Naira, it is still pegged to the US dollar, which is international market rate. So we're kind of like suffering for what we have. We have a product that we are getting right under us. Yes, cost of production might be a lot of the tools and equipment required to explore and produce this oil might be charged in dollars. A lot of the services are in dollars, but we know how much it's going to. We should know the landing costs for us in Nigeria in Naira for the NNPC. The NNPC shouldn't be thinking about making so much of a profit this period, so we should be able to price our crude oil in Naira, a rate that works for us, for our own local consumption. And as I stated before on the previous show, is in this kind of thing, the arrangement that will work best is not just selling crude oil to Dangote, who is a businessman, as we have rightfully stated, but the government should be able to do something like a crude swap agreement, crude for refined product agreements, whereby we are giving you XY number of barrels of crude oil, and then we'll pay you we'll pay you the service, and then we expect to get this amount of refined products back. And then we can, if we are cash strapped, we can then pay Dangote group in excess crude oil. So whatever percentage they agree on, which will be the cost of refining those products. Then the NNPC then owns those products, and then they can sell to all the independent marketers, and that way they can properly monitor the prices. And it will be a win-win for all Nigerians, and Dangote Refinery will be making their money based on the cost that they are earning for refining. They will also go out and purchase their crude oil from anywhere else that they need to meet up their own demand, and they can choose to export whatever excesses that they have. And I believe that the Nigerians will not need to suffer for, the gifts, the blessings that we have, which is, crude oil and all of that. But if we base it, we have the other products that are exportable. So let's say palm oil, for instance. We cannot be selling palm oil to ourselves based on the international global price for palm oil. Otherwise, Nigerians do not eat. And if you look at it, a lot of other products that we have, coal, cashew, granite, so many other products that we have, we cannot continue to have that mindset of wanting to sell everything in global prices. We need to sustain ourselves first. Whatever it is that is left, then we export.
All right. Femi, sorry, Oluwaseun, thank you so much. I would like to go back to Mr. Ukadike on this one before we close or wrap up on this first half. And this is going to be a very direct question to you. Right now, we know that NNPC has sort of stepped back and opened the way for independent marketers to have, access, to in terms of Dangote Refinery and all of that. My final question to you is this. Are Nigerians seeing a situation where this price, the pump price of petrol, will come down? Or, and I'll put it straight to you, in Street Palace, they should brace up for further premium shaggy.
I want to still reassure you that what happened to NITEL and the era of this telecom communication invasion of MTN Globe will also happen, but it will take time. You understand me? It will definitely take time. I know what NITEL have done to all of us. Even until MTN came with 25,000 naira, 50,000 naira worth of SIM card before other investors will come. Let Nigeria give an enabling environment whereby other investors, not only Dangote, foreign countries and foreign investors can come here and build refineries and also operate refineries. Look at what is happening in Indorama today. Indorama Petrochemical was obsolete. It was done. When the Indoromas came, that place has been working for the past 5 to 6 years now, uninterrupted. And all types of petroleum byproducts is being brought out of this. What is killing us is individualization. Let us go into institutionalization, whereby institutions can be able to make policy and manage the resources of this country.
So just because we're pressed for time, should we expect a situation right now that independent marketers like yourself have access? Should we expect a situation where the price will come down, or would it go up further? A straight answer.
No, definitely. Once we are in, the price is going to come down. I also want to give you an example. When NNPC is selling products 195 naira, we independent marketers, because there is availability, we are selling 193, 192. We're even washing glasses and dancing for our customers. We want to improve our brand. So now that Dangote has decided to sell to all the independent marketers, we will buy. NNPC we will buy a chunk of off-takers that can be able to consume more than 20 to 30 liters of products. We also have our tank farms. We are ready for this business.
All right. Thank you so much.